Hello guys and welcome to the Igloo. Today we're going to be telling you about everything that most other people are not telling you about the new stuff that's coming out. The biggest thing is that they're getting rid of some automation things, which would really make some people mad. One of the biggest things is going to be fish traps. One, you can't put fish traps in the wells anymore because they despawn because it's not considered water anymore. Again, my personal gripe, they think it's an exploit, but even ancient man had pools just for fish and they farmed for fish. Secondly, the big other things that we have is that honey is going to be needed for bees. Why do we need to have bees when there's already them floating around? Why do we need to have more grind to an already grindy game? For honey, I just don't get it. Same thing with fish traps. Like, in TESTLIVE right now, they will only spawn bluefish. Bluefish. That's it. And you need 5 bugs per 1 fish. Why is this a thing? And why do we need to have more grind to an already grindy thing? Secondly, there is the thrall mechanic. Currently, they said in their stream as well as in the post that they're willing to change it. But why do we have to be the ones that are going to be dynamically changing the scale? Why is it so that we have to do it? No, it's supposed to be reputable. One thrall with a full inventory is supposed to last at least 48 hours so that somebody can actually have a life. No, the automated trough feeding system only does 1 day. 1 day for a thrall with a full inventory of exceptional or whatever it is, the exquisite meat or something like that. And they need to have specific foods for their upkeep. Now, if you have the lowest tier food, it's not going to do the best effect. Even just looking past all of the bugs that are in TESTLIVE, we're going to look at the core concept of feeding a thrall troughs. Now, they did this as a passive kind of nerf, as well as a server performance buff, so that you can actually have a shitload of stuff on the server. There are a few servers that have 100, 200, 1,000 thralls on it, and it bogs down the server. And that's because they don't know how to properly code them and their travel gates. Because one of the biggest things that happens is when a thrall interacts with a building. When there's too many thralls interacting with the building, it causes extreme lag. And you can only have 6 thralls aggroed at you at a time. If you have more than those thralls, then they actually have severe issues. One tries to lag out, the other one tries to get back in, but they can't decide who's closer, so whatever thrall's closer, like, actually identifies this. And then they put this with the pet system. It's almost a literal copy and paste. And you can do this if you kill one of these pets. If you kill one of these pets that are tamed, you will see cloth armor on them. Cloth armor. How are we supposed to be able to see a copy and paste mechanic that was implemented from thralls that wasn't fixed before it was copy pasted? You still have the problems with teleporting thralls. You still have tether problems with teleporting thralls. And you still have the same thing with that now pets. Now, we're going to add on top of that. So now we have double the load because of pets and thralls. There is now a trough feeding system that is buggy, that will kill your thralls if you don't give them enough food. And if the server reboots, most of their food will be gone, especially for most pets. Now, once the server is validated and updated, then it would stay on the system. But if your system was not updated to the game database, then all the food goes away. All of it, including the ones in the trough, which is completely stupid. So I'm going to pretty much reiterate that there is a lot of problems with this feeding system in particular, more than anything. This feeding system is probably one of the worst implementations of a feeding system that I have seen in most of my gaming, including from other ones that have feeding systems like Ark. So, compared to those kind of grind mechanics, so let's do the math. If we do 20 thralls, right, and each one has to have a full inventory of cooked food for 1 day, with the current system that they have right now, it's going to take about an hour to 2 hours, depending on what materials you have, and if you have a star metal hatchet, so that you can, not hatchet, cleaver, so that you can actually get every piece of meat for your thrall army. And then you're going to have to do the same grind for honey. And then you have to do the same grind for bugs. And then you have to do the same grind for bombs. Oh wait, there's another video that I'm going to be doing for that as well, because they nerfed everything. You can't even stack, like, orbs. You can't even fucking go and use proper amount of explosives. If you interact with the explosive, it doesn't do any damage whatsoever. Like, no damage whatsoever. And then you have the new, like, explosive shot and tar and poison shot. Now, in my opinion, this is the best combo. Poison shot and bombs. I mean, the other thing is that they also nerf trebs. So trebs don't even do as much damage. Literally almost everything to a vault does nothing now besides bombs. The only way that you're going to get rid of a vault is a bomb. The best way to do it is do it in groups of 3 and then a poison shot arrow. You got to make sure that it doesn't hit the bomb, because if it hits the bomb, it doesn't do damage, which is dumb, honestly. But if you have the area of effect happen to it, it'll do damage to the vault. Again, I don't know why we're having this kind of messed up. Like, if you take out stacking of orbs and you don't scale it so that it can do the damage that you want it to do, and you don't try to scale it with what people are expecting so that it can actually be a reputable raiding source instead of pathetically trying to raid T1. Like, we know you want to have 3 different tiers of explosives, right? But if it doesn't scale to be fun, then why use it? Most people are not going to use this type of method if this stays the course the way that it is right now. I am just very frustrated, and I spent 2 days trying to get the goddamn religion, but every single time that I either tried to do the whole dungeon and live streamed it on a client side, then I went to actual US servers, and still the same thing. I log out in the dungeon, still doesn't work. Yes, I know the spawn is not working, but I was trying to at least get the body for 2 days so I can actually show a comparison between client side and actual official server side, because there's a difference between the two, and it can be a very big difference if you don't spot the details. Now, with all that said, you still have the pet system that doesn't generate any resource whatsoever that I have found personally. Somebody might be doing that. If you found a resource that was able to spawn, put it in the comments. I literally tried to do this for 2 days straight. I couldn't get shit. I'm sorry. I really couldn't get any thralls to... I mean, not thralls, but they are thralls. But the pet system to generate any resources. So, on top of even that as well, then you have the claws. Okay, so they don't have hyper armor, but they offer not only the animation's gone, well, we know that they're probably going to fix the animation at least, because you need to at least wield the claws instead of just automatically having the claws, even from switching to another weapon. And then you also have to account for the amount of stuff that you need to do to get those claws, which is a good example for it. But the big thing is that there's different gates. It has only one gate. This gate, with that whole animation, whether it's left click or right click, has a travel distance of 2 blocks per hit. 2 blocks per hit. You actually lose less stamina with getting that mechanic than just running itself for most builds. Most of them. Now, I know that's probably a showcase weapon. Again, it's a cool design. I love the whole, like, you're slouched down. I mean, it looks funky, but they're probably going to fix that too. But, like, just when you are in a supreme mode of attack, or whatever they're trying to do with playing Wolverine, okay? Like, it's going to be something that is going to be very sought after, especially if the attack is as quick as it's going to be. It's going to be a meta weapon. Most of the alpha tribes on most official servers that are left after all this bullshit, because nobody wants to be farming for all their thralls if they're going to be dying within like 30 seconds. Like, you have to sprint home. We gotta feed all the thralls, people. You gotta feed, and then it's also the trough. The trough is not like refrigerated. There's no way to store the food so that it can actually like maintain it. You literally have to micromanage the fridge. I thought with the civilization system that people had in mind is that they had automated thralls so that they can actually feed themselves. They can actually get from a fridge. They can actually maintain the process of doing everything. But no, we get a lazy trough pit so that it can be fed to them wholeheartedly. And right now, with the TESTLIVE version on how it is, I hope that it's not bad. I hope that it's not that bad. Because if it is that bad, and they honestly are trying to improve server fidelity because of flying thralls, I'm sorry, but you are wrong. In every case. Because this is probably going to destroy a lot of people's minds. And a lot of people from even the TESTLIVE forums are even complaining that haven't complained as hard as they ever did before. Because of how buggy it is. I can understand releasing to a TESTLIVE branch. Okay. There's nothing wrong with releasing to TESTLIVE, okay? But there's a difference between releasing to TESTLIVE, right? Releasing to TESTLIVE, that is, like, kind of buggy, but not that buggy, but they kind of fixed something, but they wanted to try and fix it. No, they literally copy-pasted the thrall system, put it to pets, and then watched the world burn. Honestly, that's what they did this time, and it is extremely, extremely painful to see a game that I put so much time investment towards, I banked on my channel for as well, so that it can actually look nice, that it just looks so bad. Why would you put on TESTLIVE servers this level of unplayability? Yes, it's cool. I like the concept with the claws. I like the concept of the dungeon. The dungeon looks nice. Okay, don't get me wrong. And a lot of people in even the forums see this. This is literally funny to just watch this amount of chaos. It's not cool when you want to put more grind to a grindy game. It's already hard enough for most solo, duo, trios to farm for bombs so they can defend themselves. Having legendary thralls with a legendary thrall that takes almost a day so that they can actually get everything that they need. If they want that flawless stuff, they have to grind for it. They have to already grind for everything so that it can be done. Why do we need to have more grinds on top of the other grinds for the player? Why not make an automated system for certain things. Best example, when you put any type of food, let's say you put bugs in the fish traps, like what they are talking about right now and what they have implemented in TESTLIVE. So if we're going to be having bugs, why is it 5-to-1? And when it's 5-to-1, why not have it so that it's queued, or there is a fisherman thrall or something? Let's just make it more grindy. Like, have the fisherman thrall process more fish. Make him work. Have something that it's already on the bench trying to produce for you. That type of grind is okay, because first you need to have this, and then you need the bug. Great. Alright, we got it. But what if we need to have just the fish trap and then a thrall, so that it can generate it for you? That's more feasible than making somebody grind. Automation helps with things that are like games like this, that are super grindy. Super grindy. I mean, it's bad enough that you don't have a system for that. I mean, we're never going to get a civilization system if this kind of development keeps up. Most people are going to see that the AI are going to always stay dumb, because they can't code them to move, to migrate, to process. They literally just copy-pasted the current thrall mechanic and put it to TESTLIVE. Honestly, it was one of the best solutions. But here is the kicker with it. Normally, if you fix something or try to copy something, you copy something that is fixed. Not broken. Don't copy a already broken system. But fix it first. How about we all take a pause. I know this is going to be a long video. We take a pause, right? And we worry about the thing that happens to be the best thing for the gamers. It's called fun. Fun is one of the best things that you can possibly have for this game. And I know I'm probably going to get some flack for this video, but this needs to stop. This needs to stop, or we just stop giving Funcom their Funcom money. It's plain and simple. Everybody's going to be putting videos right now about what is new about this, what is new about that, how can we make this better. Like, they're previewing it, and I can understand, but this is TESTLIVE. I get it. But when you have things that they do which makes them look lazy, or that makes them look very unprofessional, like copy-pasting a broken system to another system just so that they can figure out what they can do because they're scrambling because they're losing population. Honestly, I want them to have some success, but when I'm seeing stuff like this, it's not cool. It really isn't cool, and it freaks out a lot of people that there is this much discourse for a small indie developer team. And it's been said in the forums, and I'm going to say this right now. How about you focus the majority of your team, not just a few sole members. Not just a few sole members. I'm tired of just seeing a few sole members and then just dishing out content. Because what has made games great? The developers understood that there was a problem, and when they saw this problem, they were able to fix it. Games like Rainbow Six Siege have done that in stride, and then they have to deal with hashback, and then there's even more hackers because they found another breach, because you can never go away from people hacking on PC. It's just a plain fact. But that is one thing. It's another thing when you literally lash out content, copy paste it, and I'm sorry that I'm reiterating, but this is pretty much very lazy design when it comes to being a game developer, and it's just wow. And I don't know what to say. I mean, not only that, but I mean, You also have the God. I mean, the God barely even does damage. I showed it in the live stream that I did. I almost had as many views in the live stream as their actual stream that they had, because it was literally right afterwards. I'm just like, alright, let's see what's broken. Everything. Everything. The launch is still not work. You can still undermesh in almost every single way possible. And they didn't fix the other ones before. They fixed some. And I do give them credit, though. Honestly, I do give them credit. Because they still try to fix their stuff. And even though they all took a vacation last month for this, they come back and then they throw this on top of it. It doesn't look that much promise. One of the bigger things that needs to be done is when, like, best example, the dungeon, right? The dungeon is in a terrible state. Most of the bosses don't spawn. You can't even get the religion because the last boss requires a pretty hard battle, but he doesn't spawn. But he only spawns once. But he spawns in dead. And then you have to harvest him or you don't get the religion for the rest of the time until the server reboots again. It's like, honestly, how are we, like, anybody is supposed to do this, which is a test live variant, if we can't test the main things that you're trying to implement, or they're so broken that, like, why do we need to see it? Again, it's one thing when it's a test live and there's a few bugs. It's another thing when it's test live and unplayable. Thank you guys for watching this video, and reply down in the comments down below. I mean, reply to the forums on how you feel about this new Thrall Trough system. Reply to the forums on how you feel about what kind of grind you want, because honestly, they have no idea. Have a good one.